it's a day where it can be said. It's a day where it can be recognized, and I'll leave it there. And it's always been, for some of you people who've been listening for a long, long time, this has already been spoken of well before this season. This is my fear, or I guess reserve with Jared Goff, is what we witnessed yesterday. Mm-hmm. That's what you get. Well, one quarterback on that field yesterday looked like a $200 million quarterback, and it wasn't Jared Goff. In cold weather games, and the windy games, on the road indoor, he could ball there, or against tough defenses. This is what you get. We were down Dave Montgomery. He is a big part of this Lions offense. Mm-hmm. Jared Goff, as I've given him praise, is one of the best quarterbacks in play action.
Yes, he is.
He is. With no Dave Montgomery, it's kind of hard to get that play action going.
That's fair.
Jahmyr Gibbs put up numbers in the second half when the Ravens kind of had that thing put away. In fact, you saw the second string players in the second half. Lions kept their stars out there. But this is that was the difference. What you witnessed yesterday on the field was the difference between a true top 5 $200 million quarterback versus what we have, which is still good. Mm-hmm. But my argument has always been not that top 5 $200 million quarterback. That's always been my beef. And it's because of this, the fear. You sign him. You lock him up to that franchise-crippling $50 million, $60 million, however, whatever amount of money you want to put on it. Heavy fucking deal.
Yeah.
You lock up Jared Goff because he's doing really well behind Ben Johnson. But then even with Ben Johnson, on the road in games like that, cold weather games, which is when the Super Bowl played, when the playoff games played.
It's played indoors, though.
But when the playoffs played, that's when it's cold out, right?
Yes.
And then those December games matter, those January games matter. That's where you want those guys to step up. Oh, the win. Lamar threw 357 yards in the fucking win yesterday. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, he did.
I don't want to hear that shit.
It's the same weather.
The line, listen, to begin the game, they were straight outside the Justin Matabuke sack. But when you're down that much, they're pinning their ears back and they're going because they know you have to pass to fucking come back in this game. You're down 21-0 for Christ's sake. And no, Will Harris and AG didn't perform well at all either. But you ink Jared Goff that big deal. Ben Johnson becomes a head coach. Now you're fucked. Look at Patrick Mahomes without Eric Bieniemy. Has he been the same?
No.
You scratch your head this season. Like, where the fuck's this guy been? Showed up yesterday against the Chargers.
Yeah, he did.
But he knows the Chargers very well. Plays them 2 times a year. How about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Trash.
How about Jimmy Garoppolo without Kyle Shanahan? He has Devontae fucking Adams.
Yes.
Don't give me any excuses, Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Josh Jacobs.
Garbage. Matter of fact, Lamar Jackson's a better passer with a new offensive coordinator, too. These coordinators matter, bro. You ink this guy up to a long deal contract, you're fucked, Lucas. You're absolutely
you're not
fucked.
I
understand.
I understand what you're saying when you say if you sign Jared Goff to some contract like that's mega fucking huge, that you're fucked because you can't sign anybody else. But the fact of the matter is, Brad Holmes, when has he made one egregious deal? When? He's been balling on a discount this whole time. And now, if you want to,
I'm sorry. You said who's been balling on a discount?
Brad.
Oh,
Brad
okay.
Holmes.
Like,
no, Brad Holmes. He's
right.
been pulling in David Montgomery, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cam Sutton. They're all on discounts. So if Jared Goff gets extended here, Brad Holmes knows a way to just configure around it. I guarantee that's why they're taking all this time. You can backload that deal. If you sign Jared Goff to a 3 or $50 million deal, that will not be. In 2 years, that deal you could easily move off of. In those 2 years, you could be building Hendon Hooker with whoever the offensive coordinator is.
Lucas,
they're not just going to go from Ben Johnson to absolute
will we have Ben
death.
Johnson in 2 years?
No, you won't. And
We're
that's a reality. That we won't have Ben Johnson.
I know what I'm saying. We're fucked.
No, if you just act like the Lions aren't ready to address the offensive coordinator, like Detroit would not be a offensive coordinator friendly situation where other offensive coordinators, other coaches would want to go and coach in Detroit. Like, that's not the case. I'm sorry. Like, Detroit will figure it out. Like, they're not just going to go from Ben Johnson to shit. I don't think they're going to get better than Ben Johnson. But even if they do Tanner Hankstram, like, he's been around Ben Johnson. They're going to have somebody ready, and they're preparing for that. With Brad Holmes, you re-sign Jared Goff, you still have Brad Holmes drafting for you. Detroit's also going to become a destination even more where people are going to take a bargain to sign here. Just take the 1 year deals where it's like, oh, we want to go chase something real quick, let's do it. And Brad Holmes knows, like, we could still re-sign Panay, Hutch, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. You re-sign all those 3, you are good. You are good. You have your guy in the trenches, and you have your guys on the outside. That's all they need to do because you can keep drafting that talent. Laporta, his contract doesn't come up for how long? Brian Branch doesn't come up for how long? Jahmyr Gibbs, how long?
4 years.
But again, in playoff season mode, late December, January, this is the guy you're getting. Even in the Jets game last year, or the Giants game, he won those games. It was cold out. Giants game, look at the numbers. They had like 173 yards. Defense carried us. God bless Aiden Hutchinson and whoever else got turned over that game. The Jets game, a little short route to Brock Wright, took it to the crib. Thank God for him too. This is what you get in that cold weather moments, and that's the guy you want to pay $20 million to. Tanner Strand, can I tell you guys something? That's Ben Johnson's protege, right?
Yes.
He's like the next incoming offensive coordinator. So Ben Johnson becomes a head coach. Who's to say he does not go in with them become his
Well,
offensive
you can
coordinator?
do the same thing where if you upgrade Tanner Strand to offensive coordinator, he can't accept the. He can't.
No, because it's an
take
upgrade for him too, though.
Well, then what happened with Ben Johnson?
What it is, you can't retain them.
I get what you're saying, but that's
getting
just
upgrade too, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's just such a dramatic situation. Like,
Because
very rarely does
on
an
those Brian Faces
organization
that the Lions will like find someone. Like, oh, they'll find someone. I can't do that. I've been watching this league for a long time now. I've seen these guys fall once these coordinators go. Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan, another example of it.
That would be true though if this team, like, they have so many positional coaches that are ready to go. Like, they just are, like, if Kelvin Shepard, like AG leaves, Kelvin Shepard, I'd be perfectly fine with him as DC. Mark Brunell, if he has to be it for a season, I'm just naming out names, but I'm saying like Antoine Randall. There are guys that are still in the system right now that can just go up. They have somebody ready. And the other thing is this team is built organically through the draft. So we don't have, like, Philly right now. They just re-signed Jalen Hurts. They got A.J. Brown on a huge deal. They got Fletcher Cox on a not very convenient deal. Like, they have contracts everywhere. And they're good right now, but at some point, to your guys' point, it's going to crumble because a lot of those pieces are free agents. The Lions are not in that area right now. They haven't brought in those huge free agent deals. Like A.J. Brown, that is a huge contract that they have to absorb. Jalen Hurts, huge contract. Layton Johnson's on a $40 million contract for 1 year. Like, they're doing it. And you know what they just did? They just traded for Kevin Byard. They re-signed a guy, and they're still pulling in pieces.
Yeah, see, I think this game tells us something, though, that this team is still a gap away. They still need more. They still need to bring in more pieces, to bring in more talent, to bring in more guys here and there. Another pass rusher, another corner, somebody out there, guys that can help this team win. And it would get crippled by giving a contract to a guy too early. But again, I don't know what's going to happen with the contract. I don't want to pile on Goff too hard, even though he played like dog shit, and you can't really defend him after that. He's been very good for about 16 games. So I'm not throwing him away or throwing him in the trash yet, but I'm with you on that. I'm with you on the contract shit. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But this team still has a gap before they want to really be contenders.
I'm not trying to pile on him at all, too. This is just like a moment where like everybody kind of like witnessed like him in those situations, and it's like it's just. I'm able to connect easier on the topic with it. I'm really not trying to like pile on him or shit on him at all. I'm just trying to like. This is what I've seen. This is who I know him as, and it's not like he's like been in the league 2 years and like, oh, this is upside, this is upside. No, this is who he is. He's only gonna get older. That arm's only gonna get a little bit weaker, and I know he's young now, but that's where I'm coming from.
So my question to you is, what's the difference? And this isn't a shot. Like, I'm genuine just because you kind of are on the anti-Goff side when it comes to the extension.
Yes.
What's the difference in yesterday's performance with Jared Goff and the last two games from Josh Allen? Like those stinkers from Josh Allen.
So even yesterday in the game with Josh Allen, he gave them an opportunity to win the game.
Okay.
He went down there with, I think it was like 1 or 2 minutes left, and they scored. And just so happened to be the Patriots took it down there. Josh Allen has no effect on defense, just like Jared Goff didn't yesterday either. And the Patriots scored to win the game.
Yeah,
There's 12 seconds left in the clock for Josh Allen. Just the last week, though, too, difference in Josh Allen. You witnessed it here in Detroit on Thanksgiving, by the way, too, last year. Like when the tough got going, like Josh Allen drove the ball down there and they won the game. Jared Goff had an opportunity to hit DJ Chark on a wide open route, fucked it up. There's a difference there. Even like last week against the Giants, Josh Allen, fourth quarter, what'd he do? They went down there and won the game. Now, ultimately, too, his defense shit the bed again where New York had a chance to win. But in those clutch moments, Josh Allen was able to make big plays to get you down there. Same with Lamar beat us.
There's a difference between a stinker and just having nothing. And they had absolutely nothing.
Like,
when you have an elite talent or something on that level, they will enhance the play of others around them, and they will find a way to do it. I understand you can't do much when your defense is giving up 28 points in the first half, but you can still put drives together. You can still count on yourself to go out there and make plays. And the quarterback position is the most important position by far. You handle the ball. You have the most say in the game. And if you have an elite caliber player on there, they will put you in situations to where they can make something happen. The Lions offense was not put in any situations where they can make anything happen. They were 3 and out for the first 4 drives. It was awful to watch. There was nothing happening. There was no juice. And if everything if everything is failing around you, how do you perform? That's what I look at for an elite talent, for an elite caliber player. If everything around you is going down, is failing, how are you performing? What are you doing to try to up that stake, to try to up the caliber of play for the players around you? And when everything was failing around him, he failed. So I understand
that's all fair.
it's not completely his fault. It was a total team
Yeah, I'm not
loss,
trying
but
to pile
still.
him again. It's just yesterday's performance opened up the connection for a conversation. The other part too is every quarterback's a system quarterback to a T. That's why I think Josh Allen looks a lot different without Brian Daboll. That's another example of a guy losing to an offensive coordinator. But it's like when those plays break down, are you able to, like Lamar Jackson, for instance? Everyone's like, "Where's the pressure? Where's the pressure?" It's Lamar fucking Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there was pressure. He just Lamar Jackson out of the fucking pressure and found lanes for him to throw the ball. That's what Lamar Jackson does. But that's the difference right there. Is like making the plays when shit goes down, and that's we don't get that too often. It's just not. Again, he's a good quarterback. It's just not worth the $200 million, $50 million a year, whatever we're talking here. To where like if Ben Johnson's walking away, I'm confident with being stuck with that. I'm just not. And to be honest with you guys, I know people hate to hear it, but that is why they drafted Hendon Hooker, just for the hopes. And I'm not telling you he's going to be better. I'm not guaranteeing that, but there's a hope that he will be, just like Jalen Hurts was that situation with Carson Wentz. It's just the way of the league these days.